We're both happy and excited to share with you this month the important principle of setting goals. I'd like to share with you a couple of lessons in this wonderful topic. Lesson number 1. Setting goals has been and will always be a significant part of our success, whether it be personal or business. Allow me to share with you a very inspiring story I heard a long time ago. It's about a journalist who was assigned by their company to follow, observe, and write about the legendary basketball player Michael Jordan. In the process of doing so, this journalist observed that Michael Jordan would average about 32 points in every game. And so he went to see Michael Jordan and shared with him his observation. According to the story, Michael Jordan did not really have to think long on how to respond to that comment. He simply looked at the journalist and said to him, "Oh, that's simple. You see, I have a goal to do 8 points per quarter." Now, I believe you can learn a lot of lessons from that story. But let me share with you one important lesson I got from that. And that is, winners and successful people always have and set goals. A business author by the name of Mark McCormack once observed that some MBA Harvard graduates are more successful than others. So he went around asking them this very important question. Have you set clear, written goals for your future and made plans to accomplish them? Now, after asking this question, this is what came out. 84% had no specific goals at all. 13% had goals, but they were not committed on paper, meaning they were not written. And lastly, 3% had clear, written goals and plans to reach them. The 3% that used goals effectively made 10 times as much money as the other 97% put together. So once again, lesson number 1, setting goals has been and will always be a significant part of our success. Lesson number 2, learn to set short-range goals and long-range goals. Now, the difference between the two is the amount of time you put in accomplishing the set goals. You see, long-range goals are excellent as they set directions for our lives or for our business. Now, the short-range goals are then used to help us accomplish the long-term goals that we have set. Let me share with you an excellent example. One of our alumni by the name of Pepito Maguali Jr. set out a goal that he would one day own his very own printing business. Now, since he realized that this goal is quite expensive, it requires some capitalization, he wrote down and set it as a goal that will be accomplished in 6 years' time. It's a long-term goal. Now, let me share with you some of the short-range goals that he set to help him accomplish this long-term goal. One short-range goal that he set is he would have a specific number of clients every month that he would go to and close some deals for printing. Companies who would want their t-shirts printed, uniforms printed, some companies who would want their giveaway mugs printed. He would close them. And then after that, he would go to another company who owns machines for printing and have them printed. After doing this for some months, he was able to raise money so that he can buy his own t-shirt printing machine. And then some more months, he did this again and again, and he was able to raise some money so that he can buy his own mug printing machine. After doing this for a couple of years, he was able to raise the money so he can finally buy his own large format printing machine. Today, Pepito Maguali Jr. owns and operates his very own printing business with all of his printing machines all in his store. Now, the good news is he was able to accomplish this long-term goal that was originally set for 6 years in only 3 years' time. So once again, lesson number 2, learn to set short-range goals and long-range goals. Third and final lesson. I believe a lot of you have heard this before, but I believe that there's a lot of great wisdom in this lesson, and that is SMART goals. The word SMART is actually an acronym, S stands for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable, R for realistic, and T for time-bound. Now for this video training that we're having right now, I would just like to expound on the first and the last letters of the word SMART, S and T. Once again, S stands for specific. Learn to have specific goals. Learn to set specific goals. I believe most of us are familiar with the lesson our living prophet, President Monson, taught many years ago, when he said, when we deal in generalities, we seldom get success. But when we deal in specifics, we seldom get failure. So once again, learn to set specific goals. Don't just say, I will have a business someday. Be specific. What business will that be? What will you sell? What services will you offer? How many people will you hire to operate your business? What will be the monthly income? What will be the annual income? Where will it be located? Be specific. Again, don't just say, I will own a house someday. Be specific. Where will be the house located? How big will it be? How many rooms will it have? Be specific. Again, don't just say, I will be healthy or I will remain healthy. Be specific. What weight would you like to maintain? What blood sugar do you need to have? Cholesterol level. All of these things. Again, the lesson is be specific. The last letter in SMART is T, which stands for time bound. I heard this years ago and I really like it. And it says, a goal is a dream with a deadline. If a goal doesn't have a deadline, if it's not time bound, it doesn't really qualify as a goal. It's just a dream. It's just a wish. Learn to set goals that have time, that are time bound. I heard a story and I would like to share this with you as a closing and to emphasize the lesson on time bound. There were two friends, young boys, and they were under a tree one morning and they were just talking about everything under the sun. And finally, the topic of goal setting came as a discussion. The first boy said to the second boy, you know what? My goal is to one day earn $2,000 a month like my father. Oh, the second boy was so impressed when he heard this, turned to the first boy and said, wow, your father earns $2,000 per month? The first boy said to the first boy, no, actually, that's also his goal. You see, our goal should have a timetable. When do you want to accomplish it? So, let me summarize the three lessons that we have shared with you today. Lesson number 1, setting goals has been and will always be a significant part of our success. Lesson number 2, learn to set short-range goals and long-range goals. And lesson number 3, have SMART goals. So, let's have a little activity before we end this training session. We would like you now to group yourselves, 3 or 4 in every group, and allow each member of the group to share with one another some of your long-range business goals. At least one long-range business goal. And with that, share also some of the short-range goals that you have set in order for you to accomplish your long-range goals. Thank you so much, and we will see you again next month.